Welcome back to the Daily Taoist with Will S. We are talking about the Tao Te Ching and how to get back into spirit and alignment with the way, especially in today's society where there is much disagreement and strife. Um, the Tao Te Ching was written around 2,500 years ago by a man named Lao-Tzu. It is one of the oldest texts in existence and certainly one of the wisest. Its wisdom is timeless, and its message is as relevant and important now as it was back then, if not more so. It is vital that we learn to come back into a balance with the natural world to live in a more harmonious and selfless way, and the Tao Te Ching beautifully instructs us in bringing ourselves and our lives into alignment with the Tao. Verse 33. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. If you realize that you have enough, you truly are rich. One who keeps his course surely lives long. One who gives himself to the Tao surely lives forever. This is a famous verse of the Tao, particularly the first two sentences. The whole essence of the Tao Te Ching seems to be pointing us away from undue focus on the outward forms, on other people, situations, and events. Basically, the very stuff that tends to perpetually occupy most people to the point of obsession. And back to the inner self, which is rooted in the Tao, yet is largely unnoticed by all but a few. It often seems like we know everything there is to know about the world and the universe around us, but absolutely nothing about who and what we truly are. Therefore, knowing ourselves is the prime importance and brings a wisdom that runs far deeper than the surface level knowledge we have of the outer forms. Mastering that self, rising above the unconscious content of the mind and ego to embody that is which most authentic and real within us, is the power in its truest, most unshakable sense. Compliments for the essay go to Rory at thedailyblogspot.com. Once again, remembering that true wisdom comes from within, and knowing our inner selves, our inner strength, and our nature is where a true Tao centered person needs to reside. Especially now, in these turbulent times, there is much division among the human species right now, the human consciousness. We are in a very much an ideological war. And it's a war of the soul, I think. Whether again you are for vaccinations, against vaccinations, I don't really care. At the end of the day, we know that there is evil being perpetrated in the world at the highest level, and it is Luciferian in nature. The definition of Luciferian, if it seeks to restrict or bind, by definition, that is Luciferian. And the powers that be are now, restricting people more than ever, to live a certain way, to think a certain way, to get with the quote unquote new world order, the program. they want you to be or feel isolated from yourself and your family. Um, but there is this old adage: event plus reaction equals the outcome. So your reaction to outward stimuli is going to ultimately determine the the outcome. So right now, guys, I just say, uh, perhaps get ready for a long winter, maybe a stormy winter. Um, in Canada, at least, the federal election is going to determine a lot of the outcome of things, whether more COVID passports are going to get passed, whether more lockdown restrictions are coming. I feel that they are. Um, but as long as you are centered in the Tao and you understand your nature and that you have a nature and you trust in your nature, uh, no outside forces can harm you, not without your permission, right? And that's what this is really about, right? Getting you to give up your freedom and your consent, um, over your own choices. Um, I don't say necessarily fight, but definitely stay true to who you are and what you believe in. Just because they're making it inconvenient for you to do your daily business, let's say go to the store, perhaps you won't be allowed to go into bars, restaurants, uh, gym facilities, which I think is, a load of horse crap, because those are essential services, right? Your mental health is essential, right? And getting exercise and access to these things definitely will help enrich your inner world as well. But as a Taoist, there's not a lot that I can do, that I can offer, really. I can just put out these podcasts on a bi-weekly or so basis whenever I feel like doing them. I hope someone out there is listening. And if you are, feel free to, uh, shout me out on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube at The Daily Taoist on all platforms. Um, if you want to learn more about spirituality, the Tao Te Ching, uh, Stoicism, the Beatitudes of Jesus, I'm always posting useful content links. I did find another Tao Te Ching podcast today. Perhaps I will reach out to them. Maybe we'll do a collaboration. But here myself, at the Daily Taoist, just preparing for a journey up north, to the Yukon, and getting ready, mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally for another chapter of my life. And we'll see what the spring the spring brings. All right, guys. Feel free to connect with me out there in the ether. If you're listening to this, check out the www.thedailytaoist.com. If you would like to support the channel, become a subscriber, and click on that Amazon link in the description. Purchase the Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life by Wayne Dyer. Helps the channel immensely. If you want to buy me a coffee, feel free. That's on the website as well. Have yourself a great and prosperous day. Namaste. Will S.